Welcome back. This video we will be recapping week 2, where we will go through a few different keywords that is very important, and that will come together nicely at the end. So these keywords are goal, system, process, ordering, and knowing. These are the 5 different keywords that we're going to go through, and we're going to go them in order so that you will find the importance of each one and then see how it fits together and why it's so important to understand week number 2. The first word on the list is goal. Now we fought through on the first week talking about goals. Why is goal so important? And why do we have to have a goal? In the previous week, we talked about something called Vimutti Yanatasana or fruit of liberation. It means that it is a state, a new life, a new everything that you want. Because you want that, that becomes a goal. Because there's a goal, then there have to be a system. The second keyword here, system, that will have to be in place to help you reach that goal. So what system really are is just bunch of processes that we have to go through step by step, one by one, that as you go through them, every node will help you get closer to the goal. What does it mean? It means that in every journey, there will have to be different checkpoints, different bus stops that you have to go through to make sure that you are complete, fulfilled in each different aspect, so that finally, after everything falls into place, then you can achieve your goal. For example, if your goal is to go for a run, very simply, then your mind poop out a system, a bunch of process that you have to go through first. Number one, we'll say you have to first get out of bed, refresh yourself up, then grab and then change, put on the athletic clothes, pants, shoes, prepare some shakes, this and that, and lock the keys, unplug the microwave, whatever it is, so that you can get off your house, then go for a run. So therefore, you see that each different step have its own purpose, its own thing. So that's why when you want to write a goal, a meal plan, or whatever goal it is in your life, you see that you have to have a goal first, then a plan systematically. Process 1, process 2, process 3. In each process, there's a reason why that process exists, is to achieve the goal of that process. For that, when it's achieved, then it will enable you to go to step number 2, number 3, number 4 until the very end. And that's very important. Because of that, we go through 3 keywords already: goal, system, process. Because of that, the first word is important too: ordering. When you order your mind, it means that you're telling the mind what to do, meaning that you have a goal, an intention already of what you want things to happen. Now, when you say, I want to go for a jog, that's a goal. You want to go for a jog, right? Therefore, the mind will poop out a plan to help you get ready for that. You want to go hang out with your friends, then suddenly you have different thought, different ideas of how can you bring up your friend, appointment, your free time, their free time, so that you can have a movie together, right? So therefore, every time you have an attention, a want, a need, you have to tell that I want that one. That's why you have to order your mind, no? To be clear on what you want. How does all this fit to our practice then? How does all this fit to our meditation and our goal to be someone who is mindful, who can who are able to utilize their own mind to help them, to benefit them, to help them be more mindful, more careful, to help clean and destroy all the pollution and stress, anxiety, and every other negative feeling in your life. This is why we come back to one of the key the key very famous teaching in Buddhism. It's a sutra or a section in Buddhism talks about meditation called Satipatthana. In that sutra, the Buddha said that you have to know clearly in your mind and body, to ultimately eliminate all the desire and aversion of the world. And that's what meditation is in Buddhism. And in order to know and know clearly, to be mindful, you have to tell the mind to be mindful first. That's why the word mindfulness means to recall the mind back. Now, when we say to our loved ones, to our children, or even to ourselves, that, hey, be mindful, you're telling them, hey, bring your mind back, bring your consciousness back to yourself, back to your body back to what you're doing right now. That action of bringing the mind back is intention and ordering, hey, come back. That's what it is. You guys are ordering your mind unbeknownst to yourself. And the thing is that your mind will do what you tell it to do. So to make sure that the mind will does its own thing properly, and to help you meditate properly too, we have to learn how to order our mind to know. In our practices, we've been using our breath, our belly, our posture, our mantra, our visual object, or whatever your go-to method is. And we often shift our attention toward that point and trying to fight with our sleepiness, our wandering mind, our distraction to make sure that, hey, I'm going to be 100% with my breath. If you can't do that, then you pressure the mind to force it to make it happen. And that's where most people find it so difficult to be mindful. And not only that, but they want the best result. They want their mind to be completely still for that entire duration. But that's impossible. That's not achievable in the beginning. So what we learn in the second week is a practice of ordering your mind. So we'll go through a small experiment together right here, right now, to see what does telling the mind, ordering mind really means. So right now, let's close our eyes for a moment, and we will order ourselves, tell our mind, have that intention, and you repeat to yourself what I'm going to say to you. So the first command that you tell to yourself is, I want to feel the top of my head. I'll feel the top of my head. Once you tell yourself that, give that intention, give that command, you are now perceiving the top of your head right now. If you were then to say, I now want to feel the soles of my feet, you give yourself that command, you tell yourself that, then you're now perceiving the soles of your feet. If you were to tell your mind, hey, right now I want to feel my right ear, and you have that intention, that ordering, feel my right ear, then your perception will then comes up to your right ear and make your right ear known to you. And you'll find that when you tell yourself to know the top of your head, you'll know the top of your head, but not the sole of your feet, nor your right ear. When you're feeling the soles of your feet, you aren't feeling your right ear too. Right? Only when you tell yourself to feel your right ear, then you perceive your right ear. You don't necessarily have to shift your attention. You just tell, hey, I want to do this. I tell the mind to feel your right ear, to feel my stomach, to feel my breath, to feel my posture right now, my entire body. Just by telling that, the mind then make it known to you. Then you say, hey, you want to feel this? Sure, I'll do what you're telling me to do. And the key lesson here is I want you to acknowledge, to see how easy it is, how effortless it is for your mind, for you to perceive those sensations. You don't have to shift, don't have to pressure, don't have to do anything. Just by telling it what to do, it will do it for you. And that's the important part here, to tell the mind to know. And we learn that our concentration won't last that long, maybe a few seconds here or there, but then after a while it will go off. So to make our meditation effective, we're going to repeatedly tell our mind where to be. For example, right now, I'm going to tell myself, hey, feel my posture, feel my body. Now, I'm feeling my entire body. I'm feeling that my butt is touching the cushion, that my back against my backrest. Now my entire body is sitting down like this. If I'm not cautious, if I give my mind time to wander off, then it will surely do so. So after a few seconds, knowing myself that my mind will have its own limits of how long it can concentrate on my posture, before it does wander off, I'm going to tell myself once again, hey, still feel my posture. Then I'm going to continue that concentration for a bit longer. Before I go off again, I'm going to tell myself for a third time, hey, feel my posture. And this is how we're going to manually um, tell our mind to be concentrated 10 seconds at a time, 3 seconds at a time, 3, 6, 9, 12. We're going to continue that concentration. So that is what we learned on the second week. right? So to recap, the keywords out of this of the second week is number one is a goal. When there's a goal, there's a system that comes into place. System are just a bunch of processes that is important because process number one have its own goal. Number two, number three, number four, all must go together as such, so that finally, when everything goes together and completes, then your goal is complete. All of this can be enabled only if you order your mind. Now, when you order your mind, you're setting a goal. I want to go to movies, I want to meditate, I want to go for a walk. That's the goal. When that happens, then all these three comes about. So how can we then um, apply this to our meditation then? Then we order our mind to know our object, to know our breath, our posture, our mantra, all this, all that, and try to keep on telling the mind to know, again and again until you can create that manual concentration from 3 seconds to 6 to 9 to 12, more and more and more until the time expand again and again. And so that's what we learned for our second week.